Trista, he will miss tomorrow's game against Penn State.
What does that even do, really?
He will miss Maryland next week, and then, of course, Ohio State at the end of the year. Is this something or nothing in your eyes?
I think it's like a little bit of something, but if you're the one still preparing the game plan, you're still coaching this team. Like, would anybody be surprised if Jim Harbaugh wasn't on FaceTime, like when Lane Kiffin got COVID, and remember he was coaching via Zoom? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you're going to break the rules, and I know that we have people being like, oh, Jim Harbaugh didn't know about the sign stealing. That's just flat out poppycock, right? Like, you have somebody standing right next to Jim being like, hey, this is what that sign means. This is what we should do defensively. Where do you think he got that information? Do you think that was just a part of like the natural order of business? No. Where do you think that money came from to give those kids the dollars to get the tickets and to steal the signs? Like, be serious. Anyway, if he's willing to do that, I think he's willing to keep it rolling. He's out of here anyway. Listen, I'm out of here. I'm going to keep on cheating. I'm going to get my national title.
And ahead of the NFL.
I'm going to head to the NF damn hell.
That's right. Look, why I think it's really nothing is because the line hasn't moved on BetMGM.
Right.
It's moved in some spots, but for it to truly be significant, I think it has to move in every single sports book. And for BetMGM to kind of see what the other books are doing, and they're like, you know what, we're just going to stay pat here at 4.5. I don't really think it's anything. We have to remember, Michigan played the first 3 games of the season without Harbaugh on the sideline.
Right.
So they're accustomed to this. They know what to do. They know what to expect. Their coaching staff has experience. Obviously, the game tomorrow, a lot more significant than those games early on in the season. But I think having that experience is going to be fine. What about Minnesota? Is Ant Edwards going to win an MVP in the next 3 years?
Probably not, but he's going to be in the mix. Mm-hmm. I love Ant Edwards.
I do too.
What he's able to do defensively, offensively, putting the team on his back. Chris Finch has really made some strides on the defense. They're the number 1 defense, I think, in the league right now.
Wow, Minnesota.
Minnesota, I believe, do not quote me. Yes, Minnesota Timberwolves have the number 1 defensive rating in the league. I believe they might have one of the highest net ratings as well. Yep, they have the 4th highest net rating. You want to know the other 3 teams above them? Boston, Philly, Denver.
How about that?
Sick. Minnesota might be for real, y'all.
All right, T, let's talk some NFL.
Yes,
Week 10.
baby.
Germany game. Frankfurt. We got the Pats. We got the Colts. Not quite the game we had last week with not quite the game.
Could you imagine flying over the pond for this game?
Oof.
You have to stay. You must have stayed for the Dolphin game. Because there's just no chance that you go all the way to Frankfurt.
Either that or you're doing like a Euro trip, you know?
Yeah, you're just
you're
on
like
train.
hitting up France or something like that.
You were over there
yeah.
anyway, and you're
exactly.
like, oh, look. Like, I'm from Boston, and I happen to be studying abroad in Amsterdam. I'll take the train over there and watch the Patriots.
Colts favored by 1.5. Total is 43. If you want to just take Indy on the money line, they're minus 130. Pats are plus 110. Mac Jones, awful as an underdog, 4-15.
Such a great stat.
ATS. And the Colts, Trista, listen to this. Do you know the team who has the most consecutive games with 20 or more points scored? It's the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
8 straight games where they've scored 20 or more. They're cashing their team total overs every single week. I got to be honest with you, though. I like the Patriots this week. I kind of do. Belichick's I might be coaching for his job, potentially.
No, he just got an extension in the offseason. Get out of here with that BS.
I don't know.
I'm calling you out for bullsh.
Are you?
Yes.
You don't think there's any chance?
No.
If you were Belichick, though, wouldn't you probably want to hang it up after this year?
Not hang it up, but I would want to leave that situation.
You think he's going to coach forever? Or I mean, I wouldn't say forever, but for at least the next 5 years?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Trista?
I'd probably hang it up.
If I was him, I'm moving back to where he's from, Annapolis, Maryland. Hang it up.
You're a sicko.
Get himself a nice boat. It's a very good place to have a boat at. Live on the water.
What do you think about him coaching
the
Commanders? He can be kind of close.
I think that would be very pointless.
Do you?
The Commanders need a young coach that's ready to turn around a franchise.
Yeah, but that ownership, man, they're going to want somebody that can win right away.
He can't win right away.
He can.
No,
he's not
can't.
a good GM. He's still a good head coach.
we're talking about winners. Can I talk to you guys for a second on probably one of the greatest hits I've ever seen in my life?
This
and
is
I
incredible.
want your guys' opinion on this.
Go ahead.
So one of my good friends from college just sent me this in one of our group messages that we talk about, our bets we take or whatever. He took a parlay tonight that he only put $1 on and won $1,800. Zach Collins first basket, Jaren Jackson Jr. first basket, Alperine Şengün. I keep messing that up.
Practice
whatever.
It 10 times
first basket, and Kawhi Leonard first basket.
That is crazy.
$1,800. Shout out to Luke Williams from Baltimore, Maryland.
That really
biggest hit I've ever seen.
I tell you what, that's just like I don't even know how you choose those.
I mean, that's like hitting the Powerball, right? It's like you get literally a 1 in 10 chance. And what was that? 4 or 5 different games? Was that 4 players?
It was 4.
4. So yeah, you gotta hit one in every 10 players in 4 different games.
We call it winner chicken dinner. Man. $1 for 1,800.
And he was like, and then he also said to me, "Yeah, my car broke down yesterday, so this couldn't have happened at a better time." So
yeah, you can get a new
the
transmission,
luck on that guy.
Whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
isn't that great? See, that's usually how it works, right? Normally, like you take an extra shift, you take an extra job, and then something gets dented in the car. You dent a mirror, you gotta dent. You guys know how it works. So.
You know what?
We saw him last year, though, second half really turn it on. Coming out of the bye week, are you is the vibe around the team, are they expecting Trevor to kind of do the same thing that he did last year, really turn it on here in the second half of the season?
Well, he's certainly capable of that. I don't know why there hasn't been an improvement by leaps and bounds, even over what he did in the second half. Perhaps there was a sense of desperation there. They had 2 and 6. They had to roll the dice with him. They had to start going downfield more. So maybe they're being a little bit more cautious. He also, I think, the absence of Zay Jones is got a lot to do with what they're doing. That was Trevor's security blanket. Was Zay? He usually got open. He was pretty good downfield. And you might say, well, they got Ridley, but Calvin is still. I still think he's showing the rust of only playing 5 games in the last 2 years, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, he only played 5 games, didn't play at all in 2022, and I think he's still kind of learning his way around. Now Calvin's either been feast or famine. He's got a couple of 100-yard receiving games, and he's got a couple of games where they couldn't find him. Trevor looked elsewhere. So I think that they had to gamble a little bit more offensively last year in the second half of the season because they had so much ground to make up, and that's why you saw Trevor take shots downfield. The other thing is the offensive line has had more injuries this year than last year, especially at the guard position. The guard has been kind of a revolving door for them. They didn't have Cam Robinson, the left tackle, for the first 2 games, and last year they were almost injury-free on offensive line until Cam Robinson got hurt against Dallas, I believe, that overtime game that they won. And a lot of the rush has been kind of over those guard positions. The interior rush has gotten to Trevor a few times, and he gets sacked because he kind of wants to hold on to the ball a little bit too long. I think he hangs in there. He's a tough kid, and he feels like he can if he can just wait that split second longer. And sometimes those guys get there in that split second.